Hello everybody, how you doing? Alright, I'm gonna talk about a topic that is really close to my heart, and I thought long and hard about it, whether I should talk about it. But you know, somebody reached out to me. I was like, Akah, you need to talk about this, you need to do something. First, my girlfriend reached out to me and was like, you have to do this, Black Lives Matter. And so my friend is here to talk about it with me because I can't be too emotional about this. It's a very emotional topic and I know I would just be going off. So ladies and gentlemen, my friend, the PR executive, Abby, that's what you like. Chioma. Chioma, what's up?
Black lives matter. They freaking matter. Like, seriously, America, you know, America is a place that I call home. Nigeria is a place that I call home. And I you know, you spoke a little bit about how this matters to us as Nigerians. When Tiwa Savage put up, you know, I can't keep calm because I have a black son, there were some critics and some people say, oh, why are you even involved in that? That's American issue and this and that. I like to remind us that not so long ago we had an issue here that's still ongoing.
Bring our girls back home.
Bring back our girls.
Yeah.
And I was there in the States during this time, when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, and I was there marching. I was there at the Nigerian embassy protesting. I was there, and you know what? People outside of the Nigerian community, international community, got behind us.
That's right.
And that was one of the reasons why the movement was so successful.
Yes.
So,
and that was why the movement got home, and that was why our president got, like, you know, he got his attention.
Exactly.
Because a lot of celebrities, a lot of, you know, politicians at home and abroad were on this issue.
Exactly.
And they gave us a lot of support. In case you don't know, okay, the Black Lives Matter, the police and the legal system have been kind of unjust to the black people, to the black race. And the way everything is set up is just made to look like the black people are cheated on, right? And so in the past couple of weeks, 2 black men were killed by the police who were unarmed. These men were unarmed. They complied with police orders and they were shot not once, not twice, not 3 times, 5 times. I think Philando Castile was, yes, they were shot multiple times, and Philando was actually shot in front of his daughter.
Yes. And the mother of the daughter. And
yes, the mother of the daughter, who was his girlfriend. And then, like, you know, people began to get, like, enraged. You know, thank God for social media, we can see all these things happening, and we just know that there are a lot of racists now. I think Donald Trump also has helped them to give them a voice, and you know, everybody was just like, yo, you can't do this. And so the black community, I knew that the black community were going to, because this generation is different from the older generation.
Very different.
Older generation will be like, no violence, but this one,
you know, and
with all the guys that are smoking, they will pop. Lord, and so there was an attack. And so a policeman was killed. But did you see how action was taken?
Very
when
swiftly.
Policemen were killed swiftly. The president came and gave out a speech. You know, the vice president jumped on it. Everybody was like, don't kill the policemen. However, it was hard for them to just acknowledge that some policemen, and make a statement that some policemen had unjustly killed black men. And so I'm like, what is the issue here? Why is this happening? And it's unfair. It's wrong. We're not saying that the police people are bad in the US.
No. Oh no. This is the thing.
We're just saying that there are some bad eggs.
Yes.
And they should be rooted and they should not be covered.
This is my problem with this whole, you know, and the criticism on Black Lives Matter. These officers are sworn to protect and serve the citizens of America, and instead they're using state machinery to kill citizens of America. And that's the difference between, you know, when they have people talk about, oh, what about black on black crime? Well, actually 84% of white murders are committed by other white people, okay? And the reason why Black Lives Matter is because black men make up only 6% of the American population. However, 40% of all killings by police officers on civilians have been black men. Wow. So you look at that number and you understand there's a disproportionate amount of black men that are being basically targeted and profiled. Okay, and so this is the reason why Black Lives Matter. I know there's so many, you know.
And you know something that pissed me off when Alton Sterling was you know, shot down and killed. It didn't take 2 hours. There were people now saying, oh, he's been profiled, oh, he's a registered sex offender. I'm like, does that make it right?
And the reason why this is such an issue is because we know there's civilian on civilian homicides, you know, every year and everywhere you go. But the point is that there's no consequences. These police officers are not being brought to justice.
They're not being brought to justice, and that's the painful thing.
And that's what the solution, I would say, would be. Bring them to justice.
And don't be ashamed to call them out, because they're spoiling the integrity of the police system in the US. And the
image of America.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right. I'm like, I saw all this happen. I'm like, yo, my Nigeria better pass, so. Do you understand? Now I'm just bothered for my younger ones in the US.
Yeah.
And my brother is in New York, my sister is in North Carolina. I'm just like, yo, are you alright? Are you alright?
You see? There have been actually 4 countries that have issued out warnings against their citizens coming to the United States, saying, oh, you know, be sure to stay away from police, make sure that you comply, make sure you stay away from crowds. And this is the thing, you're born into white privilege. And this is something I was going through in my mind the other day, is that you can't choose to have white privilege or not. It's given to you as a white American, and that's just the reality. But to deny the facts, period, that is a whole nother level. You know, the facts are there, the statistics are there, the data is there to show you that Black lives are being targeted, and the consequences are not coming down on those that are responsible for taking these men's lives. And these men these are not, you know, these are people that have been providing for their own families, that have been, you know, serving in their community. Philando, he was loved by the children that he served. You know, he worked in a school. He was, you know, he was a lunch server for the children. They loved him. You know, so we're not talking about people that are out here committing heinous crimes. We're talking about the everyday American citizen who just so happens to be Black. And so the conversation needs to be had. Exactly. And the conversation needs to be had. What does it mean to be Black in America? And why is the stigma that being a Black person, or even more being a Black male, has to come with such a derogatory imagery? Why does that have to be, you know, my son is going to come up into this world, right? I want him to be brought up in a world where he's accepted for his contribution to society, for who he is as a person, and not so much, okay, well, you're a Black person, I can automatically put you in a category, because that is the whole basis and the whole reason why when you have racist cops, you know, serving in predominantly Black and Hispanic communities, you know, you find that their treatment is just absurd. They don't follow the rule book. They do not, you know, they're not there to protect and serve. And so we need to also look at that. I would suggest that as a suggestion, that, you know, if you are not culturally aware or culturally sensitive, or even just inclusive in your own, you know, mentality, then you should not be serving in those communities.
That's right.
I also want to bring up this point of our diaspora Nigerians, or Africans in diaspora, who are kind of on the fence, who don't really know whether or not they should support or get behind Black Lives Matter. But I just want to ask you this. If you're pulled over and the cop asks you for your license and registration, he's not going to ask you where you're from. He's not going to care about your accent. He's not going to care about your country of origin. You are a Black person in America. So whether or not you come from the same cultural background, or even historical immediate historical background as our African American brothers and sisters, this is an issue that matters to you. Not only, I mean,
because they're all our cousins.
Yes. I mean, and we're all coming from the same place. So we have our issues here in Nigeria and all over Africa, where as our brothers and sisters in the States and all over the diaspora can lend their voice. It's time for us to also lend our voices to this movement, because, you know, some of us are going to go to the States, some of us want to go, some of us have family there, as you say, you know, so this affects us all.
We're saying Black Lives Matter. Thank you so much for bringing in statistics, because like I didn't know that.
That's what I'm here for. Human rights, you know, that's what we do.
Yeah, great. All right, dear. Bye.
Bye.